It's a historic day in West Long Branch as Monmouth University football announces their move to the Big South Conference effective in 2014. We're very happy to take the commissioner of the Big South today for a few minutes on this historic day. I'm happy to steal a few minutes of Kyle Kallander's time. And Mr. Commissioner, big day today. Your league expands by a team, and obviously everyone down here at Monmouth very excited about the move.
Absolutely. It's a huge day for the Big South Conference, too. We're so excited to bring the Monmouth Hawks into our football league. It's going to be exciting. We're looking forward to the competition on the field and know that Monmouth's going to compete right away.
And this move will take place in 2014. Monmouth will be an independent team next year, but as you can attest to, the ever-changing landscape of college athletics never ceases to stop. When you were looking for teams to potentially add to the conference, what made Monmouth an appeal to you guys?
Well, you're right. It is a crazy time out there in college athletics right now. And 2014 is when Monmouth starts in the Big South. As we began to explore options, and we're always looking at membership issues and opportunities that are out there, and Marilyn McNeil called in the fall, we began to look at Monmouth and find out what you were about, because we really didn't know that much about Monmouth University. And the more we looked, the more impressed we became. It's so important from an institutional profile standpoint, an academic standpoint, what your commitment is, what your excellence is there, and then of course what your commitment is to FCS football. And on all three counts, we were very impressed with what we saw. Now, our presidents are the ones who make these decisions. They're very involved in the Big South Conference, and they want to make sure that people coming into our league, even if we're just talking about associate members, such as Monmouth will be, is somebody they feel very good about associating with and competing against on the field. And so Monmouth meets all that criteria, and it's a great fit for us.
And also, kind of a added benefit to the Big South Conference. Now, the stretch of the name in the Big South will come all the way up to the Garden State. I'm sure that you have to be pretty pleased with that.
Well, absolutely. We've had relationships with institutions up this direction before, and it's been very positive for us to get the exposure in, of course, the greater New York, New Jersey market. And so to be able to have that exposure here is tremendous for the conference and all of our member institutions. It helps not only from a publicity standpoint, but also from a recruiting standpoint and a marketing standpoint. So it's a great opportunity for the Big South.
And just to maybe speak to the casual fan right now watching on Hawk Vision who maybe isn't as familiar with the Big South as we all are, obviously the teams in the league, but also what, in your opinion, is the Big South all about?
Well, of course, we've got 6 other schools that are playing football right now. We've got VMI and Liberty that are both in Virginia. We've got Coastal Carolina, Charleston Southern, and Presbyterian that are all in South Carolina. And then we've got Gardner-Webb University in North Carolina. And we're a conference that prides itself on being successful, of course, in the classroom and on the field. Our tagline, as it were, was developing leaders through athletics, because we really believe we do that. The leadership is so important these days, and developing those leadership skills in our student athletes. If you look at the Big South Conference, we've got public institutions, we've got private institutions, we have faith-based institutions, we have a military institute. So you look at the leadership skills that we can develop across so many different platforms, it's really impressive. And we really pride ourselves on being diversified in that way.
When you put it like that, and you almost have to think about it, it may be one of the most kind of varied conferences in the country, especially on the football side. But to kind of focus things on Monmouth specifically, when you came up, visited Monmouth University, and brought that visit to the other presidents of the Big South football playing members, what were some of the things that you took from your visit up here that maybe made their decision a little easier?
Well, number one is the people. The leadership here is tremendous. From President Gaffney to Marilyn McNeil all the way down, Kevin Callahan, certainly quality people that we really feel good about having as a part of the Big South Conference. Then it's the other attributes certainly I mentioned in terms of the institutional profile and your commitment on that side of things. Doing things the right way, academic excellence certainly. And then the third piece, which we had questions about, was what is the commitment to FCS football? Because we obviously, your previous home, you had some limits with scholarships, but those fears were laid to rest very quickly. It was very clear that Monmouth's committed to full scholarship football at FCS, improving facilities here for your football program, and being successful at the FCS level. And that's critical for us because if we are going to expand, we want to make sure we're bringing people who are going to make us better. And we feel like Monmouth is going to do that for the Big South Conference.
Well, I'm sure I speak for everyone associated with Monmouth University, Monmouth football. It is a great day for the Hawks, and it's a tremendous day, and we appreciate the opportunity that the Big South has provided. Hopefully you get used to coming up to the Garden State over the next couple of years.
I love coming up here. I'm looking forward to it.
We appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the Commissioner of the Big South Conference, Kyle Kallander, on this historic day in West Long Branch. Monmouth football joining the Big South in 2014.